When a camera begins generating serious discussion before it even exists in an official form, it usually means something deeper is happening beneath the surface. Anticipation does not grow this strong by accident. It is built from unmet demand, lingering nostalgia, and a sense that a company may finally be ready to address a long-standing gap. The Nikon Z90 fits squarely into that category. Long before a press release or product page appears, it has already become a frequent topic across photography forums, rumor channels, and professional circles. Creators speculate about its specifications, wildlife and sports photographers debate its potential impact, and longtime Nikon users quietly hope it will restore something they feel has been missing. Cameras rarely inspire this level of interest before launch. Most arrive with a short burst of attention and then settle into the background. The Nikon Z90 feels different because it represents more than a single product, it represents a direction. To understand why the Z90 matters, it helps to look at Nikon's recent history and how dramatically the industry has changed. The shift from DSLR to mirrorless was not gradual. It was sudden and disruptive. Sony moved aggressively, pushing full-frame mirrorless cameras into the mainstream while refining autofocus, sensor performance, and video capabilities at a relentless pace. Canon recognized the threat quickly and pivoted hard toward the RF mount, investing heavily in new lenses and hybrid bodies. Nikon, once the unquestioned leader of professional photography, found itself in unfamiliar territory. For the first time in decades, it was no longer setting the pace. Instead, it was responding to changes driven by others. Nikon's early mirrorless efforts were cautious, but not careless. The introduction of the Z6 and Z7 marked a critical moment. These cameras were not designed to shock the market, but to stabilize Nikon's position within it. The Z6 was clearly aimed at hybrid creators who needed strong performance across both photography and video. It emphasized balance, reliability, and versatility. The Z7 focused on resolution and detail, appealing to landscape, studio, and commercial photographers who demanded precision. While neither model was perfect at launch, both made one thing clear: Nikon was committed to mirrorless and willing to evolve. That commitment became undeniable with the release of the Nikon Z9. This camera was not a refinement, it was a declaration. By removing the mechanical shutter entirely, adopting a stacked sensor, and introducing one of the most advanced autofocus systems Nikon had ever produced, the Z9 signaled a shift in philosophy. It also delivered professional-grade video features, including internal 8K recording, without sacrificing reliability. Sports photographers, wildlife shooters, and videographers quickly embraced it. Many saw it as the true mirrorless successor to Nikon's legendary DSLR flagships. With the Z9, Nikon reclaimed credibility at the highest level of the industry. The Z8 followed as a natural extension of that success. Offering nearly identical performance in a smaller, lighter, and more accessible body, it struck a careful balance between power and practicality. The Z8 was widely praised for delivering flagship-level capability without the bulk or cost associated with traditional professional bodies. By this point, Nikon was no longer seen as lagging behind. It was competitive again, confident again, and increasingly influential. Yet even as Nikon rebuilt its reputation in the full-frame mirrorless space, one area remained conspicuously underdeveloped. APS-C Nikon's crop sensor mirrorless lineup consisted mainly of the Z50 and ZF-C. Both were appealing cameras with solid image quality and thoughtful design. The ZF-C, in particular, earned praise for its retro styling and engaging user experience. But these cameras were clearly aimed at enthusiasts, not professionals. They lacked in-body image stabilization, advanced autofocus tracking, high-speed burst performance, and the rugged build quality required for demanding work. For photographers who relied on APS-C cameras for wildlife, sports, or action photography, Nikon had little to offer. This absence is what gives the Nikon Z90 such significance. It is widely expected to fill the role that has been missing from Nikon's mirrorless ecosystem, a truly professional APS-C camera. Crop sensor cameras have always been especially valuable for wildlife and sports shooters. The inherent 1.5x crop factor effectively increases focal length, allowing photographers to achieve greater reach without investing in larger, heavier, and more expensive lenses. A 400mm lens behaves like a 600mm equivalent, making it easier to capture distant subjects in fast-moving situations. This advantage has kept APS-C cameras relevant even as full-frame technology has advanced. Other manufacturers have recognized this. Canon introduced the EOS R7, a capable APS-C mirrorless camera with high-speed performance and modern autofocus. Fujifilm built an entire system around high-performance APS-C bodies, offering professional-grade features across multiple models. Sony continued refining its A6000 series, ensuring it remained a reliable option for advanced users. Nikon, however, stayed quiet. That silence left many photographers wondering whether the company had abandoned the professional APS-C market altogether. For longtime Nikon users, the Nikon Z90 represents hope. It is often described as the spiritual successor to the Nikon D500, one of the most respected APS-C DSLRs ever made. The D500 earned its reputation through speed, durability, and reliability. It was built for action, capable of handling wildlife, sports, and demanding environments with ease. Even years after its release, it remains a favorite among professionals. The idea that Nikon could bring that philosophy into the mirrorless era has fueled much of the excitement surrounding the Z90. Rumors suggest that the Nikon Z90 may feature a 33-megapixel APS-C sensor, a notable step up from the 24-megapixel standard that has dominated this segment for years. Such a sensor would offer increased detail, greater flexibility for cropping, and improved output for large prints. For photographers who frequently work at long focal lengths, the ability to crop without sacrificing image quality is a significant advantage. For videographers, higher resolution enables oversampled 4K video, producing sharper, more detailed footage with fewer artifacts. Higher resolution does bring challenges, particularly in low-light performance and noise management. However, Nikon is expected to pair the sensor with its APS-C processor, the same processing engine used in the Z8 and Z9. This processor is designed to handle large data throughput efficiently, enabling faster readout speeds, improved noise reduction, and more responsive autofocus. Nikon's color science has long been praised for its natural rendering, especially when it comes to skin tones and subtle gradients. If the Z90 inherits this processing pipeline, it could deliver professional quality results straight out of the camera. Video capabilities are another area where expectations are high. Current speculation points to oversampled 4K recording at up to 60 frames per second, along with high frame rate full HD options at 120 frames per second or beyond. Slow-motion video has become an essential creative tool across many genres, from cinematic storytelling to sports analysis and online content creation. A camera that can deliver smooth, detailed slow-motion footage while maintaining strong autofocus and stabilization would be highly attractive to hybrid creators. Whether the Nikon Z90 ultimately lives up to these expectations remains to be seen. But the level of anticipation surrounding it speaks volumes. It reflects a desire for balance between reach and resolution, speed and portability, power and practicality. For many photographers, the Z90 is not just another camera. It is a symbol of what Nikon can be when it listens, adapts, and leads. And if the rumors are true, the Nikon Z90 may mark the beginning of a new chapter, one where professional APS-C cameras once again have a central place in Nikon's mirrorless future.